Namaste. Namaste and welcome to our Wednesday chair yoga session. And for this session, you will need a length of something. So I'm going to use a yoga belt, but you might use a piece of string or a scarf or a dressing gown belt, something like that. So just have it handy. We're going to pop it over the back of the chair and just bring ourselves to a little bit of stillness for a moment before we get started. So sit towards the edge of your seat so that you are away from the support behind you, and rest your hands into your lap. Organize your spine upwards. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or perhaps gaze gently downward at one point ahead. Take this moment to leave behind the rest of your day and your week and bring yourself into your yoga space. Step into it. Step away from all of the other things that have been occupying your thoughts until now. Take a moment to switch on your internal awareness, to feel how your body is feeling. Take this moment to notice areas where the body is feeling a little tight or tense or closed. And take a moment to notice those areas where it feels released or open or quiet. Notice how your breath is, the rate and rhythm of your breath. And see if you can soften the features of your face, your forehead, your tongue and jaw. And we'll gently deepen the breath. So as you exhale, gently drawing the abdominal muscles in, navel in a little, and then inhaling deeply into the sides of the body, the back, the chest. And breathing slowly and more fully out, engaging across your navel. Breathing into the rib cage, the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Breathing out slowly, deeply, completely. Continuing breathing this way, filling the body with prana, energy, vitality, and with every exhalation, feeling all of the things that have been on your mind, the weight of your week falling away, letting go, bringing yourself time and again to this moment, this present moment. At the end of your next exhalation, gently drawing your chin towards your chest, not with force, just wherever it gets to naturally. And then if you want to, you can roll your ears towards your shoulders one at a time, right ear to right side, left ear to left side. And if you don't like this neck movement, if it doesn't suit you, finding another way to move your head that feels good to you. When you've done a few of these from side to side, maybe you would like to lift the chin to create more of a circle. And your circles don't need to be big. You don't need to circle at all if you don't want to. Going the opposite way if you're circling. And when you're ready, bringing your head back to center and just make some soft circling with the shoulders to begin with. Nice. and in the opposite direction as well. And then we're just gently going to move a little bit in our torso. So a tiny bit of gentle swaying from side to side, this twisting rather from side to side. If it doesn't feel good to do it sitting down, stand up for it. Maybe just turning your head a little. And then with the arms down at the sides, just doing a little gentle side bend from one side to the other. We're going to stand up and do very similar in a moment as well. Just a little bit. And then we're going to reach the hands forward, bring the backs of the hands towards each other, and reach the hands back to the sides. So you reach behind you for your chair and open your chest. So reaching the hands forward, maybe tucking the chin towards the chest, maybe scooping the belly in, and reaching the hands back, maybe lifting the chin and opening the chest. Let's do a couple more of these. I apologize if you can hear the reverberation of voices from outside this room. There's a little homeschooling going on outside. There we are. Just relaxing the arms to the side, wiggling ourselves around. And then see if without moving your arms, you can move your torso in a few different directions. Just trying to maybe waken up the spaces down the front, back, sides of the body. And then with your arms a little bit more loose, you can do the same sort of thing and allow your head to go with your movement as well. In the mat classes, we do this sitting on the floor. It's exactly the same sort of thing. And here you've got the stability of both feet on the floor to press into if you need to for a little bit of support. Excellent stuff. So now we feel all wriggled and schmiggled. Let us try a little bit into the feet as well. So we'll stretch the feet out in front of us, nice soft knees, and just roll the feet at the ankles. And the knees will roll up together and apart, and the thigh bones will roll in the hip sockets. And then we can go the opposite way as well. Very good. And you can do a little bit of padding through the toes, so up to tiptoes, and then releasing the foot down to the floor. Just lifting the knees, one and then the other. Allow the rest of your body to move if it wants to. So don't feel like you have to hold rigidly in the middle. You can just allow the body to move. And then see if you can do that with the toes pointing, turned out ever so slightly, with the knees just a little bit further apart. Very good. Smashing. And then here in the center, we're going to widen our feet with the feet nice. The feet can be turned out if you want to, and then just make a little stirring action. So hold a little firmness here in your center so that you can protect, so you don't overwork in the low back. We're going to go in the opposite direction as well. Very good. And we're getting a massage on those buttock cheeks as well at the same time, which is nice. Okay, and then when you're ready, we'll maybe just give the hands a little bit of a shake and the wrists a little bit of a roll, because we haven't really done those yet. And we're going to come up to standing. So here in standing, we're going to gently take our chairs to one side, feet nice and wide, soft in the knees, and a gentle twisting from side to side. So here you can just start really small and explore where your body wants to go from there. So where it feels open and spacious, we can move into it. But where the body resists, we don't want to press through that. So if you get a little resistance, then move around it, not through it. Or move towards it and bounce away. And if you want to, you can rotate a little bit on the toes, just freeing the foot you're moving away from. And sometimes that feels a little bit better in my back, personally, than doing it with the feet still. but it really depends on what I've done in the day until that moment. And then for anyone who wants to add a little bounce, you can, but you don't need to feel like you have to. And we're going to let the arms go a little bit wider from the body and touch the opposite shoulder in front and the opposite hip behind. So feel like you're really spreading the hands out, the arms long. Very good. And just when we think that we can't bounce anymore, we let our bounce go and simply pivot on our toes. The shoulders soften a little, we bring the feet to stillness and allow the body to lose its movement a little at a time until it comes back to standing steady again. And here, when we come back to steadiness, taking a moment just to notice, to feel the effect in the body. So now we've wriggled through quite a lot of the body. We've hopefully begun to release any holding patterns or tension. We're going to bring the fingertips onto the shoulders and begin making small circles with our elbows. And then developing those circles. So it's up to you. If you've got one shoulder that works differently from the other, you can do these on one side at a time. But if you have a fairly even balance between your shoulders, we've all got one that is a little bit more open than the other, then you can develop your circles a little bigger until they feel like the most spacious circles that you can make without any strain in the body. No strain in the neck, the shoulders, or the chest, or the face. Lovely. And maybe we can begin to feel the sides of the body and the front of the body and the back of the body all reacting as we move. Let's just bring our arms down at the bottom for a little rest. Take a deep breath in. See if there's some more space for the breath to move into. Sighing out. Excellent. Fingertips back onto the shoulders. We're going the opposite direction. So I circled backwards the first time, forwards this time. Good. Starting small and just feeling your way. Perhaps there's a little bit more space to move into. Perhaps those circles become a little fuller. Perhaps you automatically coordinate your breath and movements together, and I'm sure most of the live yogis feel that with the breathing in and the breathing out. But you don't have to coordinate your breath and movement. See if you can, for the next 2 circles, just feel the sides of your body moving as well. And then releasing the arms down, taking a moment. And here in the center, let's just make sure the neck is feeling nice and free by turning the head from side to side. And if you want to, a little ear to shoulder. And a little chin to chest. And rolling chin up. We'll do one more. Chin to chest. And chin up before returning back to center. Shake out the hands. Awesome sauce. Okay, so we did a little bit of beginning our spinal undulations as we sat down. We're going to carry on doing that now. And today we're focusing on opening this front space of the body. So when we hold anxiety and stress, particularly chronic stress, where you've been anxious or worried or hypervigilant for a long time, we hold it a lot from the back of the tongue, in fact, down the front of the neck and into the front of the body. And we've got 2 fascial trains that come through the front of the body. So these are layers of connective tissue that join up all of our organs and muscles and joints and bones. And so we've got the superficial fascial train from the base of the tongue, comes down the center of the body and into the hip flexors. So you feel those when you lift your knees up. It actually goes all the way down the legs as well, but we're mostly dealing with this torso part today. And we've got a functional fascial train, which actually comes from both shoulders into the center and then out to the hips again. But we feel that when we do movements diagonally across the body. Okay, so we're going to work in those movements of opening and a little bit of twisting, a little bit of side bending to get into all of those spaces. So let's begin with a little spinal undulation with the feet wide, the knees soft and the elbows wide. We're going to breathe in as we open the chest, lift the belly, lift the chin, and as we breathe out, imagine you're rounding over a big ball. We're going to reach the hands forward, scoop the belly in and chin to chest. Breathing in, keep a little effort in the buttock muscles and the belly muscles, and keep that effort as you breathe out and round, so you're still holding on in the buttocks as well. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Doing 2 more. And breathing out. Last one. Breathing out. We're going to finish by breathing in, stretching the arms tall, lifting the head a little, and then floating the arms down to the side as we breathe out. And if you need to, give yourself a little bit of a wriggle and a schmiggle. Fantastic stuff. Okay, so we've begun to develop this openness in the front of the body, and we're going to do a little bit of side bending. So last week we did a lot of side bending, very functional side bending like this. We're not going to do that this week. This week we're going to keep the feet nice and wide, knees soft, and we're going to use one arm at a time. So we're going to start with the left arm and right hand on the right hip, left elbow nice and bendy and soft, and then big circles with the left elbow. And as you make the big circles, allow your head and your body to do whatever feels good. So if you can open a little bit more that left side of the body, and you can let your head look if that feels comfortable for your neck as you go. A little bit of effort in the buttocks and the belly muscles. And we'll go the opposite way as well. So a little softness in the arm. We don't want to have any rigidity in the hand or the elbow, so that as the arm moves from the shoulder, we connect the movement of the shoulder into the torso, into the neck, into the upper back, the sides of the body, the chest. Very good. We'll do just one more in this direction. I know it's a lot of shoulders today. And relaxing this arm down, we're going to let this arm hang really heavy and just give it a little swing from side to side. And I'm slightly tipped over so that that arm doesn't hit the side of my body as I do, and then come back to center. Fabulous stuff. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So soft in the knees, a little bit of effort in the buttocks and the belly muscles, left hand on left hip, soft right elbow, and just start. You can start small, you don't have to start big. And as you build into it, we're trying to find that space underneath the rib cage, across the front of the chest. Maybe as you use a little bit of effort in the belly muscles, you're aware of the resistance, the sort of push and pull across the belly as well. Let's do 2 more in this direction. Let your head follow the movement, and then we'll reverse, going the opposite way. If you need to rest in between, that's okay. You can rest in between. Really soft in the elbow. And if you hear a lot of clicking, and if it happens every time, try to move in a smaller circle perhaps, where the clicking won't happen. The odd pop and click is okay, but if it's rhythmic, it means that something's happening every time you move. Okay, one more in this direction. And back to center. And when you come back to center, let that right arm really relax by the side. Maybe just slightly lean to your right side and sway the arm backwards and forwards. So the weight of the arm just provides a little traction across the shoulder joint there. Fantastic. And coming back to center. Now this time you can do this with a wall, but we're going to do this standing, and then I'll show it to you standing. If you've got a wall, you can use a wall as well. So for this exercise, we're going to bring our elbows down to our sides. We don't want to pin them quite to our sides, but we want them very close to the sides of the body. But with the hands facing each other across the torso in front of us. Feet a comfortable distance apart, perhaps a touch of softness here in the knees. Firming a little bit across the belly and the buttocks, and we're going to drive the elbows backwards behind us and then gently release the elbows back to the sides of the body. So we're drawing the elbows back behind us and releasing the elbows back to the sides of the body. Let's try forwards and backwards this time. So drawing the elbows backwards and then drawing the elbows back to neutral, maybe just slightly in front, reach the arms away. Draw the elbows to the sides of the body, then back behind us. Reaching the elbows back to neutral and then arms away. This time, as you move, perhaps you want to lift your chin as your elbows come back. And as you reach forward, you can just draw your chin a little bit towards your chest. Breathing in if you want to, elbows back, chin lifted, and breathing out. Still a little bit of action across the belly and the buttocks. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. And then from here, simply standing tall, wriggling the shoulders if they need a wriggle, turning your head or making little movements with the nose if that helps to release your neck. So I'm going to show you how to do that with the wall as well, just so you have that in your repertoire. But if you don't have access to a wall right now, don't feel that you need to dash off towards one. So if you want to do this exercise with the wall, we stand quite close to the wall, but perhaps just slightly leaning towards it. The elbows, in fact, I'm going to move my feet a little bit further away. The elbows and the upper arms are on the wall and the backs of the shoulders as well. And we press our elbows and shoulders back as we lift the body away from the wall. So it's the same sort of thing. It's a little bit more intense. And we can press, I've got my hair in a bad way, but we can press the back of the head gently towards the wall as well. So this is a really nice opening. And it's one to have a go on a wall with next time you've got a wall handy. Why not? Fantastic stuff. Okay, guys. So we do want to explore the hips and the hip flexors a little bit in our effort to expand across the front of the body, because they're very much involved. And so I'm going to do some hip circles. So there is a standing up version of this, left hand on left hip, right hand on chair, and you flex your knee and foot and make circles as widely as feels comfortable to you. But I know there's one or two folks in the class who have hips that don't like doing that quite so much. So for you, foot on the floor, and you can gently move your foot backwards and forwards, around to the side, and if you want to, just simply backwards and forwards through the straight forward movement. If that doesn't work either, you can come and sit on your chair so that you've got, I like to sit perhaps at the corner of my seat here, so that you've got freedom to move on both sides. And you simply move your hips in the same sort of circles, but you don't have your weight all into one hip to do it. Your weight is mostly taken on your sit bones. So I tell you what we'll do all of these. Let's come to sitting and do them together, and then you can feel which one of these suits you the best. And if you know the standing up one doesn't suit you, you can simply sit down and do a few more. So let's start with our hands on our hips, sitting tall. The corner of the chair is between the legs, so we've got a little freedom on either side, behind the buttocks or towards the back, outside of the buttocks as well. And with the right leg first, just lifting the foot off the floor and making some circles with your knee. Now the circles don't need to be big, but if you've got room to make bigger circles, you can. And if it feels good to do some of that circle with a straighter leg, then you can as well. It's up to you. Whichever way you're going, we're going to go the opposite way as well. And if you get a lot of clunking or clicking, again, just make a slightly smaller movement until you eliminate that. And it's all about stability. So you can press down into the other foot, or rest that side for now, and you can firm yourself across the buttocks and the belly as well. So feeling the difference between the two sides, we can do the other side as well. So just a bent knee, making circles. They can get bigger if you want them to. They can be with a longer leg if you want them to. They don't have to be. Try not to hunch yourself to do it. So sit up tall. We'll go in the opposite direction as well. Very good. And then resting on this side. Feel what that has done in your body, because that is incredibly activating across the hips and into the muscles that support our hips as well. Let's stand up. We'll give ourselves a big stretch here. Now we've stood up, because doing it sitting down is great and it's a really supportive way, but sometimes we can hold on to a little bit of tension there. So all we're going to do is little softness in the knees, breathe in, reach the arms up, open the chest, lift the belly, and breathe out the arms down to the side. Doesn't matter how high up they get. Breathe in, reaching up. Breathing out, reaching down. Excellent. So standing up, we're going to try with our foot on the floor, making some circles. So reaching your left foot forwards and left hand on left hip. Just circling your leg behind you, as far behind you as feels comfortable, crossing over behind the right foot if you can, and circling in front and again crossing over if you can. So that little extra length if you can. And if you need to do this with your knee bent, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. If this doesn't suit you at all, then that's okay. You can rest out of this one. We'll do one more. And then we'll do the same thing with the other side. So I'm not going to bother swapping sides on my chair, but you can if you would like to. And so we're starting with the right foot drawing those nice big circles. If you want to, you can go that little bit further and cross the legs in front of each other and behind. If you want to do this with a softer knee, you can, as long as it doesn't twist your knee, it's okay. And we'll do one more. Little firmness in the belly and the buttocks. And coming back to center. So again, a really nice thing to do is to reach up, but we're going to take this opportunity to use the belts and do an openness with our belts as well. So we're going to come back to do a little bit more with the chair in a moment. But here, to do our shoulder opener with the belts, we want, or with our length of string or anything, we want to start with the arms quite a good distance apart. So you might be about double the width of your body, something like that. And we're going to keep our knees a little soft, a little firmness in the belly and the buttocks, and reach the arms up to wherever is comfortable. So to begin with, we're trying to draw the arms from this forward position up to over the head, if possible. And for that, we might need a little bit more length on the belt. So if you need to widen your belt, you can. And don't worry if you don't get all the way up over the head, that's not a problem. Up to wherever is most comfortable and spacious for you to hold, and just a gentle sway from side to side. So we don't want too much of a side bend, but just a gentle sway from side to side. Good stuff. And then coming back to the center, we're going to relax the arms down. Give our shoulders a little bit of a shimmer if they need it. And I will show you what we're doing next. So now we're trying to find a way to get our arms to move behind us as well. So to do that, we might need to widen our arms on the belt and widen perhaps again to get all the way down. We're going to do it really slowly, and when we get down at the bottom, we're going to go all the way the other way. Now, if for any reason this doesn't suit your shoulders, Annette, I'm thinking of you, then please just come up to the top and do a little side sway, okay? So with your belts a suitable distance apart, remember we can always move them. We're going to reach the arms up. See if here you can just draw your shoulders down. Let's reach just the shoulders up, shoulders down, shoulders up, shoulders down. And then with the shoulders down, see if you can gently take your belt back behind you. If you need to, you can widen your grip on the belt until you can very gently, slowly, easy bring the belt down behind you. And then take a moment at the bottom, wriggle anything that needs wriggling, and go back the way you came. So don't make your belt any smaller. So when you go back the way you came, you want it to be a really nice, easy movement. No clunking or forcing a shoulder around anything. So enough width on the belt for that. We'll do one more, and we're going to do this with our side bending as well and shoulder lifting as well. Okay, so little softness in the knees, firmness in the belly and the buttocks, reaching the arms up to wherever is comfortably up for you, and then a gentle sway from side to side. Imagine you're at a football match or a rugby match. Rugby's probably more appropriate, and you're singing your song, waving your scarf. Coming back to the center, lifting the shoulders and then drawing the shoulders down. Lifting the shoulders, drawing the shoulders down. With the shoulders down, for anyone who's going behind the body, reaching the arms back, widening your grip on the belt if you need to, reaching all the way over, and at the bottom, just taking that little wriggle through the shoulders if you need it. And we'll go back the way we came. So reaching the arms back, opening your chest, maybe lifting your chin a little, sometimes that helps. And then drawing the arms all the way down in front. And at this point, we're going to release the belt and just take a moment to wriggle ourselves, wriggledy-schmiggledy. And I think a downward facing dog would be really useful right now, because that helps to realign the spine, gives us an opportunity to wriggle out any bits and pieces that have ended up in the wrong place. So hands on the back of your seat, walking your feet away, little softness in the knees, lengthening the tailbone behind you. And here, let's just start with a gentle sway of the hips from side to side. If you prefer to hold still, you can, of course. And then in the center, just gently turning the head from side to side. And then in the center, paddling through one leg and then the other. And you can allow your torso to move here as well. You don't need to relax completely underneath the arms. You can press into the hands to give you a little bit of support. And then coming to center, we're going to walk towards the seat to stand upright. Take a moment as we hold onto the seat just to make sure that we're feeling super duper top notch. And then relaxing. So we're going to do our standing hip circles. So for anyone who knows that standing hip circles don't suit them, please sit down and do the sitting ones instead. So standing hip circles, starting with our left leg first, and really taking the opportunity as you stand onto your right leg to avoid sagging your right hip to the right. So really firm the hip over the top of the right foot. We're going to firm the belly and the buttock, and then just make some circles with our left knee. Try to feel that your leg is your support rather than your right hand. And going the opposite way as well. Not too many, not too big. If you want to go bigger, you can, of course. And then we'll bring that foot back to the center, those on the chair coming to center as well, just taking a moment. And then we'll do the opposite side as well. So thinking about the weight of the left foot going down through the left hip, going down through the left foot, and then making your big hip circles with the right knee. And they don't have to be big. I said big, but they don't have to be big. Super. And we'll go the opposite way as well. Try to avoid any movements that feel really, really super clunky or clicky. And releasing this foot to the floor as well. Those of you who are sitting, please join us again standing. And we're going to do just a little reaching of the leg back behind us. So we're going to reach the left foot back behind us. Keep the weight in both feet. So tuck the left toes under, press the left foot down so you don't feel that you're taking all of your weight on your right side. And then lifting the left arm up. And here, if you want to, you can lift the left arm backwards. You can firm in the belly and open that space underneath the left arm, underneath the left side of the body, lifting your chin up as well if you want to. Deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your head and arm back to center and then slide your left leg in. I have to swap my chair to the other side. You can, of course, do the same or just simply turn around. And we're sliding back our right leg. Toes are tucked under. We're pressing down with both feet. Firmness in the belly and the buttocks. Reaching the right arm up. And then if you want to, reach it behind you. Feel that openness. Lift your chest if you want to. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And bring your head and arm back to center. And then slide your right foot in. Give yourself a little bit of a shimmer. And the other way as well. And we're going to do a chair pose while we're here on chair, but not sitting. A chair pose while we're here with the chair. So facing your seat, knees about hip width apart, feet about hip width apart, and simply bending at the knees. So we want to sit our weight into our heels here. We don't want to be tipped forward in the torso at all. So keeping the torso nice and upright. Bending the knees as deeply as feels comfortable for your knees, for your hips, for your ankles. And then if you can, reaching your arms up. They don't have to go all the way back. If up is hard, try reaching them out to the side. If you can do up and open, you can reach them up and open this way as well. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let's release the arms down to the chair. Let's lengthen through the legs. Give ourselves a little bit of a wiggle. And we're going to do a little forward bend with our chair now as well. So if you turn to face your chair seat, you'll have an opportunity to bend forward to the seat, but not too low. And you can come a bit lower down if you want to. So in the same position with our legs, about hip width apart, maybe slightly wider, we're just going to breathe in, take the arms wide, because we open the chest before we fold forward. And as you breathe out, bend your knees, lengthen your bottom a bit behind you, reach the arms forward and reach for your seat. So we're in a standing forward bend now, and if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can come down onto your forearms on the seat. And if you can easily reach your forearms to the seat, you might reach your fingertips to the floor, or even the flats of your hands to the floor if you wanted to. But you've got the seat to come back to if that's a touch too far, or to just give you a little bit of lift to come out. So wherever you get to here, we want to try and just let our heads be nice and relaxed on the necks, softness in the knees, so we can lengthen through the tailbone. You can even give your hips a little sway from side to side if you want to. If your fingertips are on the floor, you might want to give your shoulders a little bit of a wriggle here, which can help to ease out in the back, or even just pad the fingers to one side and then to the other, but not if you're a bit higher up. Okay, relaxing your head completely if you're reaching to the floor. To come up, come at least to your forearms again. We're going to scoop the belly in, place the hands onto the seat to press us a little higher, and then we're going to do chair pose. So bend the knees deeply, reach the hands forward, drop your bottom down and press through your legs to stand up, reaching the arms out to the side and down. Should we do that one more time? Because that is a sequence that we haven't used all together before. Let's try it. Okay. So standing tall, breathing in, reaching the arms out to the sides. And as you breathe out, we're going to bend the knees just a little to angle forward from the hips and reach our hands towards the chair seat. This might be enough. If you want to come down a little bit lower, you can even bend your knees a little bit deeper to do that, coming down to have the elbows on the chair. If you want to come all the way down, to have your hands on the floor and just let the back of your head relax and the neck relax, you can hold here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Then we're all going to come back so that the hands are on the chair, either forearms or now pressing up onto our hands. So we've already got this sense of lift in the front of the body. We're going to bend the knees a little deeper, press into the heels, reach the hands up. The bottom goes down a little as we press up, and then reaching the arms out and down to the sides. Lovely. And now we get to sit down just for a moment. It's not like it's restful. We're going to sit down for a gentle opening and a gentle twisting. Why not? Okay, so coming to sit down, knees together, feet together. We're going to I'll just give you an extra minute. There we are. So we're going to breathe in, take the arms wide, and breathe out as we take the right hand to the left thigh and the left hand behind us. Doesn't matter where it goes to, perhaps the back of the seat, or back of the chair or back of the seat. And then find length in the spine. And see if turning your head a little bit further to that left side feels good. Or perhaps you've got just a little bit more room without forcing or pressing, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, just a little bit more room to twist to your left. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Turning to the front with your head only, and then unwinding your spine, turning a little to the opposite side and back to center. Lovely job. Same thing on the other side. Breathing in as we take the arms wide. Breathing out, the left hand to the right thigh, the right hand behind us. Here, finding length first. So in this initial investigation, finding length first and then seeing if the head enjoys being turned a little further to the right. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And then do you have any more space to make a little twist into? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We'll turn to the front with the head only. Release the hands, unwind the spine, turn a little to the opposite side, and back to center. Very nice. So a few weeks ago, we did a little lungy posture, and we're going to try that one again. So we're going to walk our right foot to the right side of our chair and allow the left knee to point down. So if this helps, perhaps if you start sitting facing towards the right and then step your left leg backwards. And your left leg doesn't have to come a lot backwards. It could be here. We just want to open it slightly to open this hip here. So slightly away from our normal seated pose. Anything is going to be an advantage over having the knees pointing in the same direction. And then here, or we can hold the back of the chair with the right hand, or I've just wrapped my arm through my chair if that's useful. And then just making a nice circle with our left hand. That's it. And you can even just hold your front thigh if you want to, and just allow your torso to twist, your head to twist, and come back to center. About 3. And then we're going to swing that left leg forward. Good job. Do a little ballerina twist to the front, and then we'll go to the other side. Ballerina tiptoe twist, that is. So we're sliding the right leg back this time. You can sit a little closer to the edge of your seat if that's useful for you. Perhaps it is. Perhaps you feel more stability by being a little bit more supported underneath that left thigh. Left hand on the back of the seat or the left thigh itself. And then just any kind of circle that feels good. Doesn't matter what it is. About 3 of these. I might do an extra one because I think I did an extra one on the other side. And then very gently sliding the right leg forward. And we're going to do our little tiptoeing twist back to center. Fantastic stuff. So in lieu of doing a child's pose, which is a nice sort of closing down pose that's done on the knees, let us do a forward fold seated here. So hands onto the thighs, breathing in as you open your chest, and as you breathe out, sliding the hands forward and folding forward over your legs, coming only as deeply into this as feels comfortable. Perhaps you can gently turn your head from one side to the other. Perhaps your hands reach to your shins and you can let your shoulders relax. Perhaps they reach to the floor and you can let the backs of the hands drape towards the floor. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Maybe one more, sighing out through the mouth. And then to come up, placing the hands onto the shins, just tucking the chin in, tucking the belly in and rolling up one vertebra at a time until you come to sitting. Take a moment at the top of your movement just to allow everything to get back into its more neutral position, including your blood pressure. And then we're ready for relaxation. So grab hold of anything that will make you warm and cozy. I'm going to get my blanket. And excuse me, I'm just also going to just have a quick swig of water. And then coming to sitting, taking a block underneath the feet if you would like to, give them a little bit of lift. What that block does is, for those of us who don't have quite as lusciously long legs, it makes it a little bit more restful on the pelvis than a simple, than having the feet on the floor if you've got shorter legs. Super duper. So today for relaxation, we're going to combine our relaxation with some extended exhalation breathing as well. So Settling yourself down into the seat or back into the seat and resting your hands wherever is comfortable. But if you want to, you can take Chin Mudra. You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. First, allow your spine to organize itself in this position. So making sure that you feel not gripped or lifted, but as spacious as possible. Let's take a moment to just gently wave the nose from one side to the other. And maybe if you want to, also chin to chest and lifting the chin up just a couple of times. Allow your head to find its way back to neutral and then close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, sighing out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. A deep breath in, let everything go. Allowing your breath to fall back into its natural, spontaneous rhythm. And fall away into quietness. Take a moment to allow your body to feel really heavy here. Feeling the softness in your forehead, the center of the eyebrows spreading. The area around your eyes relaxing. Your mouth, tongue, jaw releasing. Allow the shoulders to feel soft and heavy. The whole body surrendering down. And then gently draw your awareness to your breathing and notice your breath. Notice the first part of the body that moves as you breathe in. And the last place you're aware of the air in your body as you breathe out. Develop a slightly deeper breath. Without strain, without losing that softness across the face and chest and shoulders. And if you enjoy counting your breath, you can count the length of your inhalation and exhalation. And if you don't enjoy counting your breath, use a phrase. It can be a song lyric or a mantra of some kind that you breathe in for that song lyric, mantra, and breathe out and repeat it again. So using words, you simply slow down your expression of those words in your mind as you exhale to lengthen your exhalation. If you're using numbers, add 1 count to your exhalation only. Check that your face is still soft, your shoulders still relaxed. If you think you have room, you can slow your exhalation down or add another count to your exhalation now. Check your face and shoulders and chest for tension. Release it where you find it. If you feel comfortable, if you have space, slow your exhalation down or add another count to your exhalation now. Remember to work without strain when working with your breath. At the end of your next exhalation, simply allowing your breath to fall back into its natural rhythm, falling into quietness, observing the effect on your breath. Perhaps your breath has become almost imperceptible. If your hands have been in Chin Mudra, just releasing the first fingers away from the thumb tips. And continue to release and relax and rest for another minute more. Om. Gently deepen your breath and bring your awareness back into your hands and your feet by wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles. Doesn't have to be all at the same time. When you feel ready, take a long, deep breath in. Maybe stretching the arms and the legs. Make any movements that feel good. And then when you're ready, sort of gather yourself back in again and place one hand over your heart and the other hand on top. Take a moment to give yourself gratitude for this time, this practice. Notice the openness in the front of your body, the strength in the back of your body that supports that openness, the space that your breath has to move into. And having an open chest allows our heart to expand, so our love and our kindness and compassion and patience and tolerance. So this week, celebrate that by being kind to others as well as yourself. When you're ready, bringing your hands to Namaste, we'll offer each other Namaste. Thank you for joining me in this class. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again.